video might be a bit of a mess. I'm distracted. The dog wants something. I don't know what it is. It's probably dinner, but he's an hour too early. We've lost 2 chickens to weasels recently, and one of our long-standing chickens who has seen untold trauma through the course of her life somehow hopped over the neighbor's fence into their horse field, and I couldn't get her back, and then she just ran away across the 40 acres. And now the rooster's outside crying for her, and I'm distracted. And I've picked tonight to make baked manicotti. It's multi-steps, multiple ingredients. None of that, even on my best day, would make me comfortable. I like minimal ingredients, streamlined instructions. So I wish me luck. I'm tired and distracted, and I'm about to make a mess of things, maybe. Anyway, the manicotti calls for 2 slices of French bread, which I bought yesterday, and it is currently hard as a rock, but it's going to be soaked in milk and then put in with the meat. So let's hope for the best. It doesn't say how thick the slices should be or how big the loaf should be, but I don't know. You know what? Maybe I'll soak 3. Just take a little bit of this heel. I don't choose dishes like this very often. I lose interest, lose the plot, but I think I can do it. I almost always have milk in the house. I realized I didn't, which I needed to soak the milk. But in good Mormon household fashion, I had a bag of dried milk. So I don't think it's going to impact the flavor too much. It calls for pouring a half a cup of the milk over the French bread. And it was easier just to mix up the full cup of milk from the dry milk. So I've got my bread soaking, and I'll set that aside for later. If I don't run out of time or patience or focus, I'll slice some of this bread up and make some garlic bread to go with dinner. But that is asking a lot of my brain right now. I can see my sad rooster walking by out the window looking for Ursula, and he's not going to find her. That makes me sad. Ursula's been with us a long time. Okay, I've got half an onion left. The recipe calls for half a cup onion, but as usual, I'm just going to put in everything I've got. I started this process by setting a large pot of salted water on the stovetop to get boiling. It's going to take a while, so as I prep my vegetables, it'll come up to temperature. We'll parboil the manicotti shells. Need 1 cup of chopped spinach. I think this might shrink down to a cup. This manicotti recipe gets assembled in a 9 by 13 casserole dish. That's going to feed a ton of people, which would have made it a great recipe for Mormon families or Mormon family reunions or church gatherings. That's one of the commonalities in a lot of these recipes. Feeds a lot of people. I talk about what we ate in our house growing up. It was just my mom and dad and my younger brother and I. So dishes like this were not common. Add on to that my mom would have much rather been outside in the garden than in the kitchen. And a multi-step dish like this just wasn't in her repertoire or her interest. It's barely in my interest, but I think it's gonna taste okay. All right, that is a little more spinach that it calls for. I can't imagine it hurts to put in extra greens. I need 4 tablespoons parsley, so I'm just gonna hack some off the end of my bunch here. It smells so fresh and green. I'm just eyeballing it. You guys, the chicken, she made it back. She's right outside the window. The horses, when they realized I was over there trying to entice my chicken over the fence with some scratch, came running, which I probably should have realized that would happen. And so then she just took off, ran down the fence line that we share with the horse property, and then all the way down the long way away from us. And the fence squares are small. Chicken, bigger. She made it home. Okay, my mood, it just really lifted. Back to the meal. This is all going to go in together, so I'm just mixing up my parsley and my spinach in my bowl. Okay, and the Parmesan cheese, it's just to sprinkle on afterwards. Doesn't tell me how much. So, our friend likes lots of cheese, so maybe I'll do, you know what? Oh, okay. My favorite pizza back in the day in Salt Lake was from Freewheeler Pizza. And one of the toppings you could put on was walnuts. Okay, this makes sense, this train of thought I'm having. So Chris really likes cheese, and I like cheese, but not as much, so I could put extra cheese on the one side. I could put walnuts on my side. Oh, I'm gonna go get my walnuts so I don't forget I had this idea by the time I get there. Okay, if I remember, we'll put walnuts on part of it. My water is boiling, so a couple of things have to happen at the same time. I have to brown my onion and hamburger and parboil the shells. So what comes first? I guess it won't hurt if the hamburger and onions cool off a little bit, so guess I'll start with that. I swear, something in my brain. We've got our browned beef and onions. And in case you were wondering, yes, I am using, this time it's Impossible Burger. Sometimes I use Beyond, but I'm an opportunist. I'll buy what makes sense financially. It says mix all the ingredients together. So I'm assuming that means my soggy bread. My meat and onions. That pan's going to be a nightmare to clean. Thank goodness for Brillo pads. Okay, that bread is kind of falling apart like I was hoping it would. Not as much as I'd hoped. If I was sure everyone shared my taste, I would throw walnuts in this mixture. Maybe if you make this, cut the crusts off or cube it. That wasn't in the instructions. I'll try and remember to put that in the instructions. All right, let's put in our greenery. Okay, hamburger, onions, spinach, parsley, the salt and pepper went in while I was cooking, the French bread. The only thing left is the eggs, so we'll just cool this down a smidge. Okay, in with the lightly beaten egg. Somehow I'm gonna have to stuff this into shells I don't really understand how that's gonna work. Have faith. Got my 9x13 baking dish. It calls for 1 jar of spaghetti sauce. The size of jar, I'm assuming what you find at the store, but again, these are older recipes, so I'm just gonna spoon it in so it doesn't splash everywhere. This will be our bed of our stuffed manicotti. Yeah. I need an Italian nonna. I don't... Are those hot? No? Okay. Well, how do you... Oh, kind of hot. Ouch. I'm sure there's a trick to this. Don't watch this to find out how to do it. Go find somebody else on YouTube who's already made this. This is just me trying out recipes in the Mormon cookbook. To see how I do the first time. If somebody makes these for you, they're either really proficient, or they really love you, or maybe you're lucky enough to have both of those things. Do rank and file Mormons still have extra large families? I've lost track on that front. My aunts and uncles, I have some on my mom's side of the family that had large families, and some of my cousins, but it seems like large families are less and less the norm. Like, I know that they exist, and I know, there's like the trad wife trend out there. It's just maybe harder in today's financial climate to support that large of a family. I don't know. I don't know how personal I want to get here, but I never had kids, and that was a choice. And it's a lot of reasons, and I won't say most of them, but I had an absolute phobia of being pregnant. And I wonder if I picked some fear up in utero. I don't know. It was pretty hard to manage that fear. And everybody is out here living the best we can with the minds and the bodies and the souls that we have. And watching our nation backslide when it comes to women's bodily autonomy, knowing how different we all are, how different our bodies are, how different our medical conditions are, our wants, our needs, our finances, this growing notion that women should just be having babies, and that's the right choice for everybody, is alarming to me. There's this notion of willfully childless women, which is me, being bad women. And there are as many ways to get through life, for a human to get through life, as there are humans on the planet. So, yeah, the hubris of people telling other people what their families should look like. In case you were wondering, I'm in my mid-50s now, well past time when the option's off the table for me. And I do not regret my decision at all. Matt and I made the right decision for us, for who we are as people, our strengths, our shortcomings. Watching people in government act like they know better? Nah, son. As Judy in the Righteous Gemstones would say. I've got leftover meat here. I don't want to waste it, so I'm just gonna sprinkle it in. Put the remaining spaghetti sauce over. Well, I don't think I forgot anything. Time will tell. Now, mozzarella. Here goes the walnuts. I'll just do a little strip here. This is gonna go in the oven for 30 minutes and then pull it out. Oh, I gotta cover it. "30 minutes in the oven covered, and then pull it out and sprinkle it with Parmesan cheese, and then another 10 minutes. So in we go.